Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Been kind of busy dealing with some personal matters here lately. So I apologize, haven't put anything up, but today I thought I'd get something up. Just a little something. We're going to do something a little different today. Pretty easy, so I would say it's a beginner type content. But we're going to use some different commands that might be kind of interesting. So let's get going. Let's grab a ring rail here. Well, before I do that, let's do something. I'll get back out of that real quick. I'm going to go to my collections here real quick because it will ask me to start up a whole new thing. I'm going to go to collections. And if you go to your collections, it'll come up like this maybe. I have some head here I want to use, this one here. And I'm going to import that in. And then I'll just close this on out. Maybe. Import, open. I already opened it. Let's get rid of this. There we go. All right, so I have that out there. If I put my ring rail and then go to my collections, I'll have to save everything I have out here and then load it and then load it back in. It's a pain in the butt, so I'm just going to grab it first. Now let's go to our ring rail here and we'll just hit enter. Let's go to our outside ring rail and I'll go to my library here real quick and we'll just grab something like this where it comes up at a little sharp angle. Double click there and we'll go ahead and drag this up something, something maybe like around here. And then hit enter and then I will go to gems and then we'll go to gems on ring rail. And I'll bump this up a little bit around there. And then I'll take this and just kind of bring it up to where it's on my item there, right? So I have this out here. If you don't have this, which you probably don't have it in your library, there's I made a video on how to make something like this. So check that out. Just making a 4-6 prong solitaire head. So now we have this out here. So basically we need that head in order to do our guides, right? So we can kind of get to cut out what we want. So I'm going to go back to my curves, grab me a line curve and make sure I'm on my creation layer here. And then I'm just going to draw a line somewhere like right in here. All right, and then I'm going to take this curve here, my outside ring rail, and I am going to offset it. I'm going to offset it a little bit thick. We're going to make this top part a little thick. So I'm going to type in a 1.5 and hit enter. And then I'm going to grab this one, right click, bring back, but I'm going to make this one like maybe a 1.2. Make it a little thinner here, something like this, right? And then I'll just grab me one more line and kind of just right in there. I want to cut some of that away, right? So, and then I'll take this curve and this curve, and I will go to my transform parametric mirror and mirror both that lines over to the other side, and then I will select and then hit enter, of course, and then I'll select all my yellow and we will go do some trim action. We'll get rid of all this, and this. We want that open there, and we'll get rid of this here, not that. Let's bring back that. Let's see, cancel. Let's undo this, and then get rid of this little section here and that. And that's what we want, and we'll hit enter, hit OK. Now I'm going to go back to my curves, and I'm going to just use the old blend curves from here to here, and right click, bring it back from here to here, and then grab me a line curve with my end snaps on, and snap from that line to that line. And then I'll take all the yellow and join everything together. And now I want to make sure that's a planar closed curve, which it is. Okay, so we have that. We'll keep that there for a few seconds, and we'll grab our ring rails. And instead of doing all the sweeping and adjusting everything, we're just going to kind of make it easy for this one here. We'll go to our solid, we'll go to extrude, straight planar. We'll make sure that we have solid yes, and both directions yes, and I'm going to type in a 3, which will make it 6 millimeters widthwise, and we'll just accept that. All right, so we have this. I'm going to select that, go to my transform, and we'll taper it down some. So we'll just go to parametric taper, and then click our bottom here, and it doesn't give us our handle down here going widthwise, right? It gives us the lengthwise this direction, but not here. So if you come over to dynamic enable second length right here, you'll get that other handle, so you can kind of bump it in. And we're going to make this pretty sharp for the demonstration that we're going to be doing. So we're going to drop it down to maybe around 2.5, something like that. So it comes down pretty sharp there, and hit enter, and we don't need this surface anymore, so we'll keep the tapered surface and get rid of the other one. Now I'm going to take this curve here that we drew a little earlier, and I'm going to go to solids, and I am going to extrude a straight, and then just click that out there. And then we'll do a little Boolean difference. So solids, we're in our solid Boolean difference. First our ring, and then second our cutter, and now we have a nice little cathedral item out there. Let's get rid of this thing here. We don't want that. There's a nice little cathedral, right? So let's get rid of that curve. We don't need that anymore. And my head and everything, I'm just going to go ahead and hide it real quick. And I'm going to turn off my ring rail. All right, so we have our little shape out here, right? Now let's clean it up a little bit. So let's go to a fillet edge, right? And we'll go to blend edge, and we'll just select the whole entire thing. I have it set at a 0.3, which is fine. Just make sure you have preview yes, so that you can go back in and change it if it blows on you. We'll just go ahead and hit enter, accept this. Give it time. Now, if it blew, you know, with a bunch of different lines going crazy out there, all you have to do is select all and then lower the amount, and you can mess around with it. And it looks like it blew a little bit there. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and select all, and we'll just type in a 0.2 here and hit enter and see what that does. If it blows on us again, and it looks like it's okay, but we'll find out here in a second. So there's not a lot of lines going crazy everywhere, right? So we'll go ahead and accept this here. But you always want to make sure you check it afterwards, and we have a closed poly surface. So it looks like we should be okay. All right. So we'll just go ahead and continue working. Now here we want to make a cutout here, but if we use the parametric, right, we can't really snap, and it's a little bit more maybe time consuming because we'll have to do it different kind of ways. So we're going to go all the way back here to edit from object here, and we'll go down here to the old one right here, extract iso curve. Now select our surface, and it gives us both direction. We can choose U, V, or both. I'm going to turn off my snaps here, and we'll just kind of draw it out to here, if we try to snap it over here, it's not going to be even, right? So I'm going to go ahead and change from both to my V direction. And with this one, if I have my snaps on and my quad on, I can snap it to my quad, right? So you can snap it to positions. If the old one you can. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I don't want it right there on the quad, just a little bit higher. But you can do it with that. And then I'll take this one and I'll mirror it, transform, mirror over to my other side, parametric, turn on X, turn off Y, and then hit enter, right? And now I'll just go and select all my yellow, and we'll do some trim action here. Get this curve where we want it. Wow. Okay, we don't want that, so let's undo. Cancel that. Let's undo that. And let's go ahead and back out of that. And I'm just going to go ahead and hide my green. And then I'll select it all, and we'll do that trim this way. There, there. get rid of these little pieces here, this, and those two there, and that little piece right there. All right, so we have that. We'll go ahead and hit enter. Broke history, no big deal. We'll join that together. Check it to make sure it's a closed curve, which it is. Now let's bring back our item. So we have that right away. What we want to do is make sure we have that curve on our other side. So let's go ahead and transform parametric mirror over to our Y, and there it is. So hit enter. Now let's see. We've got it here. So let's go to surface. Let's try our push pull, and we'll select our curve, and there's our surface. So and we'll bump that up to maybe 0.3, and we'll hit enter. And we want to go ahead and get rid of that surface that doesn't have our cutout, right? Which I think is our green. Yeah, green, get rid of that. And then we'll come over to this other side and select this curve here and do a push-pull on this side and make sure it's at a 3 to match our other side there, and then hit enter. And then we'll take that and turn it to green. So we have the cutouts on both sides, right? Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take that yellow so we can not get in the way as we kind of work forward. I'm going to go back to curves and grab from object here and duplicate this little edge here, and then come down here and duplicate the inside edge there, so those two edges, right? And then I'll hit enter, of course. But before clicking anything else, while they're still highlighted, I'll go ahead and point objects and then divide curve by number of segments. And I'm thinking I want 1, 2, 3. I want 3 segments, and I'm going to hit enter. All right, so now it gives me 3 little segments there, right? I'm going to go ahead and turn off green again. I'm going to select that curve. I am going to split with those points and hit enter. And it should have split. Just check. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to take this, split it with these objects here, and hit enter. And we should have 1, 2, 3 here. And we'll bring back our surface. Okay, and those are on our surface, so it should be no big deal. Now what we're going to do is go to our freeform curve and click on the drop down there, and freeform insert curve on surface, right? And click on that, and then we'll have to pick our surface, which will be here, and then we'll hit enter. Well, right click, pick our surface, and now we can draw on it, right? But we want to go to that mid right there, not the dot or the point there, but the mid section, right? And we're going to draw from there down to the mid section of this one, and then just right click. We just want that one line there. And then I'm going to right click, bring it back, and then select the surface, go from that mid, which will put it right down the center of our item, to the mid down here, and right click. Right click to bring it back, select our surface, go from the mid on this one, and then bring it down and click on the mid there and right click. So those curves are on our surface and they are in between. So we have 3 little rows right there. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Now what I can do is go to gems on rail, right, and select the rail. First select curves, 1, 2, 3, and then hit enter, right? And all my gems are out there. And then I'm going to drag these down and get these in a better position here, something like that. Go ahead and select my surface, which will be this, of course. Give it some time. There it goes. You see them pop into place. And my top looks pretty close. It looks pretty good. My top looks pretty good, I think. I can always come over here. We want to taper end. We want to taper the end. And let's see, did it move these? 1.3, I think 1.3 is probably good. I think, so we have taper, right? So we have the set list, start list here, size list here, size list here, right? So my top is set at 1.3. If I go to 1.4, that's, yeah, 1.4 is a little too much. So we'll keep the tops at 1.3. And then we'll hit done there. we'll come down here to the bottom and we'll play around with that second list here. Right here, let's see, let's go to, let's start with a 1, see what that looks like. Yeah, 1 might be it. 1.1. Yeah, 1 will do it. All right, so we'll select that. So now we have all our gems out there laid out, and they look pretty good. And then we have spacing. Yeah, they're tight. That's what we want though. And we'll just go ahead and hit enter at this point. Now here, if you try to do your settings and then go in here, it's going to really jack it all up. So don't try and do it that way. Take your gems and go ahead and ungroup them, right? And then hold down control and go through and select maybe one of the rows, and then change these to another color, right? So we change those to another color, and then go through here and deselect all this color, right? Oh, not that one. That one we want to select back. This one we want to select, and then change those to another color. And then we have all 3 different colors, right? So we can take this, we can group those together, which now we can take all these and group them together. Yeah, okay. Select all these and group. Now those are grouped. Select all these and regroup them, and then select all these and regroup them. Now we have a little bit easier way to manipulate, right? So we can go through and grab each individual group, right? So we'll grab the first group here, go to our settings, and then prong placer, and then lay them out there and just kind of do your deal with the prong placer. Drag your height up, maybe bump them out a little. Well, maybe not so much. Really, they look pretty good right where they're at. Yeah. Let's see, over here, prong placer, we go to end. Maybe enable end prong rotation mirroring. No, we'll select show this one so we can kind of play around with them individually, and we'll bump those bottom ones out just a little, and we'll hit enter. Accept that, go with these, right click, bring them back, adjust them. And our prongs are a little tight, but we can deal with that here in a second. And again, go to end prong, and no, and then yes, and we'll nudge those bottom ones out just a little bit. And we'll grab these at right click and bring those up a little, right? And again, go to our end and bring yes, and nudge those bottom ones out just a little bit. Yeah. All right, now enter. All right, so we have all that. We ungroup them, right? But if you go back and select your gems, you can go back in and drag them around a little bit, and it will update. Still, all of them will update, but our prongs are jacking up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, but there's a real quick, I mean, you can adjust them still. You should be able to, and the prongs shouldn't really. Yeah, there we go. Shouldn't update. I mean, they should update, no problem. And now you have a nice little evenly spaced grouping of stones, right? And you can take those stones and those prongs, go to your transform, and mirror them over to the other side. And you have you can do your cutouts, your gem cutters. Go to cutters, gem cutters, put them on there, right? But you have a nice little cathedral setting that you made very quickly, right? And they're all tapered down, so it looks very good. All right, so hopefully this kind of gives you a little insight and a little different way of thinking about the old style too, because it does offer a little bit more uh, uh, different ways, I guess. They're all good. It's just which way is best for whatever project you're working on. So hopefully this video helps you. And if it does, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. And definitely love to hear from you. Please leave a comment. Thanks very much for your time and good designing.